Lights, camera, action!
Welcome back to PTVatPHS. Today is Friday, January 31st, 2020. I'm PTV's Niskio.
And I'm Brady Pittman.
With the soon-to-be 2020 election coming up this November, we decided to send our PTV crew out in the halls to test some of our student and staff's knowledge about their presidential knowledge. Check out our first installment of this one. What play was Abraham Lincoln watching when he was assassinated? The Comedy of Errors, Julius Caesar, or Our American Cousin?
Our American Cousin.
Correct.
Our American Cousin.
Correct. In 1952, Albert Einstein was offered the presidency of which country? Israel, Turkey, or United States?
Israel?
Israel. Correct.
Israel.
Correct.
Albert Einstein? Turkey!
Incorrect.
Oh!
Who was the vice president during Barack Obama's presidency? Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, or John Bolton?
Joe Biden.
Correct.
Joe Biden.
Correct.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna just go with the best one, B.
Incorrect. Who was the first U.S. president to be impeached? Andrew Johnson, Bill Clinton, or Donald Trump?
I think it was Andrew Johnson.
Correct.
Bill Clinton.
Incorrect.
It was Andrew.
Girl Scout cookie season is here. For more than 100 years, Girl Scouts and their enthusiastic supporters have helped ensure the success of the iconic annual cookie sale.
This year we decided to do a taste test of the 8 types of cookies available for purchase here in Marshall County.
We thought the best person for this assignment would be our new foreign exchange student, Raina Ira, who just so happens to have never had a Girl Scout cookie ever.
I'm a foreign exchange student in Plymouth High School. I work here at PTV, and I've never had Girl Scout cookies before, and so I'm gonna give you my honest opinion on these 8 different Girl Scout cookies. This is a Mercy cookie. It has chocolate on the bottom. It's definitely crunchy. That was pretty nice. It flowed well with the crunchiness of the cookie, and I really like that. That's like an 8 out of 10. Alright, so now I'm gonna try this lemon cookie. Yeah, don't know what to feel about this. It's kind of lemony on the bottom. It's like has this lemon soil on the bottom, and it fits really well with the crunchiness of this cookie. I love these crunchy cookies. The peanut butter patty, it had a very soft top and some chocolatey peanut butter on top as well. It wasn't my favorite. It was maybe a 6 out of 10. The shortbread was a little basic. It was just a crunch. There was no chocolate or lemony soil on the bottom, so it didn't taste as good. So I would give that a 5 out of 10. Oh God. That was not my favorite. Well, it's minty, and mint and chocolate is never a good idea. That's just my personal opinion, but it's not a good idea at all, and I don't like it. 2 out of 10. Alright, peanut butter sandwich. It's basically like a peanut butter
If you're interested in purchasing Girl Scout cookies, Ivy Marine is selling them here at PHS. In all, there are 12 different kinds of cookies, but not all cookie varieties are available in all regions. But because we know Ivy, she told us she has the following cookies you see listed on your screen available for sale. The flavors are Thin Mints, S'mores, Peanut Butter Patties, Thanks a Lots, Caramel Delights, Peanut Butter Sandwiches, Shortbread, and Lemonades. The cookies cost $4 a box, and sales continue until March 30th. Email Ivy at the email you see on your screen if you are interested in buying some Girl Scout cookies.
On Tuesday, PHS will host a musical performance featuring a group of Chinese artists. The performance will be held in the Studio Theater and feature an instrumental ensemble and group dances. The program will begin at 10:30 a.m. and end at 11:30 a.m. Students may attend the first half of the performance from their advisory period if accompanied by their advisory teacher. Check with your advisory teacher if your class will be going, because only 100 students can attend due to room limitations. However, if you are in Mei Guan's 5th period Chinese class, you are asked to report to the Studio Theater for the second half of the performance, instead of going to Guan's classroom. We will have a crew inside covering the performance. To make sure to watch for coverage on our PTV social media and, of course, our show next Friday.
The annual Plymouth High School Dance Marathon will take place later today. The Dance Marathon is a student-driven fundraising event. All of the money raised is donated to Riley Hospital for Children at IU Health. The goal for this year's marathon is to raise $40,000. Riverside and Lincoln students and staff contributed already $16,641 towards that goal by hosting many marathons earlier this month. Therefore, PHS students are hoping to bring in $23,359 yet today. The conclusion of the dance marathon wraps up tonight at the home basketball game at halftime, when it will be revealed how much was raised.
I cry every single year. It's just amazing to me. Our kids just work really hard. They put so much into it, and then for them to get that feedback that they did a good job, and to see all of our community cheering them on, there's nothing like it.
Now it's time to kick it over to our PTV sports team.
Welcome back to PTV Sports. I'm Tyler Ritchie.
And I'm Caleb Deacon.
Without further ado, let's head right into our sports rundown. Today at 6:15 p.m., the JV and varsity boys basketball teams will be home to face Northridge. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., the boys swim team will be at Concord for the NLC Championship. Also at 9 a.m., the freshman girls basketball team will be at Northwood for the NLC Tournament, and the wrestling team will be in sectional action here at home. At noon, the gymnastics team will be at the Western Invitational on the road. And at 6 p.m., JV and varsity boys basketball teams will be home to face the Mishawaka Cavemen.
PHS Athletic Director, Mr. Delps, will be in our spotlight this week. PTV's Tyler Ritchie is hitting the halls to see what Mr. Delp does in his weekly activities.
What are some of your daily tasks as an athletic director?
Well, a lot of times we have to organize the week. On Mondays we talk about what events are home events and what events are travel events, and talk about gym setup. I mean, if it's the winter months or, if it's outdoor season, in spring and fall, then, who's going to set up what. With the travel events, it's talking to transportation and things set up for coaches. Communication with officials that most of the time we've set those up a year to 2 years, to even some sports it's 5 years in advance. You get those officials locked into dates.
What do you believe makes Plymouth more special than any other school?
I would have to say the people. We've been pretty blessed with some pretty great coaches. From the AD position, your job is to kind of hire the coaches and hopefully have discussions, talk about how best to get through to kids and help them learn those life lessons. We're losing a Coach Reed this year, as an example of someone that has done it for a long time and made an impact. And you could see that on the night where we honored him, and 50-some wrestlers come back from past teams and want to say thank you, and that's when you have someone that's done it for the right reasons for a long period of time. And so we do have a lot of great coaches that are anywhere from 2 years in to 5 years to 10 years in that are loving what they're doing and trying to get better at their craft and then trying to make a better impact on young people. I would go back to my own experience here at Plymouth High School and say I kind of learned those values from my coaches. Coach Edison was my basketball coach. Coach Hunter, Mary Beth Hunter, was my tennis coach. The values that I think kids and adults, for that matter, need to realize it takes work. I mean, it's hard work. Getting after it on a daily basis is how you are successful, and that, along with being coachable. And that sounds easy to say, but not everybody really wants coaching and feedback. A lot of people get defensive about, when you try to give them, hey, here's something you need to work on, and well, what about, especially when you have playing time involved. When you have a basketball team, for example, and you got 5 guys, and the coach is making choice out of the 12 who's going to play. Sometimes that's really hard for kids to kind of, well, I'm as good as that kid, and the coach is making decisions based on the information they have. And are you going to be coachable? Are you going to put in the work? A lot of the stories I've heard about Kobe and just the amount of time he was putting in when the lights weren't on, when the game wasn't on TV. He was up at 4 a.m. working out before all the other pros were. Things don't just happen because you work one day at it. You have to work a series of days, a long period of time to make that kind of happen, and that's really tough to do. I mean, it's not an easy thing. Otherwise, there would be a lot more people being successful.
Former Los Angeles Laker Kobe Bryant passed away in a helicopter accident, killing all 9 aboard.
He entered the NBA directly from high school, and he has won a total of 5 NBA championships. So we decided to hit the halls to interview athletes and coaches to see what they feel about the loss of Kobe Bryant.
What did Kobe mean to you?
Well, obviously I grew up watching him play and compete, and he's one of the greatest all-time players to play the game.
Kobe is just like, he was a great role model and somebody that shows you working hard does pay off eventually.
He really was an inspiration to me.
Mamba mentality mean to you?
The Mamba mentality means to never give up and always fight through pain.
Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
I just think his intensity level was unmatched. He wanted to win every single game, hated to lose.
To me, the Mamba mentality is always strive to do your best.
The mentality is just like, he said it, I saw it in one of his quotes, that he is always willing to work harder than you. So Mamba mentality is just that you're willing to put in more work than anybody else.
I'm Tyler Ritchie.
I'm Caleb Deacon.
Thanks, guys. Switching gears to what's on the lunch menu. Today we'll be having cheese pizza, seasoned green beans, mixed veggies, and an assortment of fruit.
Chances are you have likely seen the art wall, which is located in the art hall. The wall has all sorts of shapes and colors that are closely tied to our school colors. The wall is considered to be the first mural the art club created. The club's advisory says the project is just one way art students can help to beautify the school.
We started by just asking if we could try to make the school look a little prettier, and they said yeah, they were game for it. So we taped out triangles and worked on it kind of over about 2 weekends, and then it was done. So we're really happy with it.
The critter is back out of its cage. Have no idea what we are talking about? Well, you should if you have been in the cafeteria this week during lunch. FFA is hosting its annual Kiss a Critter event during halftime of tomorrow's basketball game. The teachers who were selected this year to pucker up are Nathan Wilson, Scott Michael, Josh Fender, and Tyler Seabach. They each have jars in the cafeteria, and the teacher who gets the most donations in their jar will be the one expected to kiss the critter. You can still vote today during your lunch hour by simply putting in money in the teacher's jar you want to kiss the critter.
Now it's time for this week's PTV trivia question, and it's a controversial one. If you Google online, you'll soon see. But here it is. In ancient Greece, throwing an apple at someone is thought by some to be a declaration of what? The declaration of what is said to mean is considered a myth or folklore by Greek history buffs, and that is why our question is controversial. Many say It's only legend, not factual. So if you find a controversial answer or answers because it looks like there are a few, send them our way via email and you'll be entered for PTV Hacienda Chips and Salsa Party for your room. You have until 10:15 a.m. Monday to submit your answer. Good luck.
Last week was our first PTV trivia question of 2020. We asked you how old was Martin Luther King Jr. when he won the Nobel Peace Prize. The answer was he was 35 years old when he won the Nobel Peace Prize. Congratulations to sophomore Logan Walters. You just won your advisory room, a Hacienda Chips and Salsa Party.
I'm PTV's Niskio.
And I'm PTV's Brady Pittman. Have a great day, PHS.